A new law that takes effect after the 1st will change how Minnesota nominates presidential candidates.
As Eric Nelson reports, a local lawmaker helped change Minnesota from a caucus to a primary state.
Just think of it as a primary shift.
We're going to do something that most other states do now, which is to actually have a primary.
On January 1st, Minnesota is changing from a caucus state to a primary state.
If Minnesota wants to have a bigger voice on the national stage, having the primary system, I think, really helps the state in many, many ways.
It's not just a beauty contest. Whoever wins, that person gets the delegates.
New Hope Senator Ann Rest co-sponsored this New Year's resolution that becomes law on Monday.
I think there was, widespread support.
The primary will come into play during the 2020 presidential election and should simplify things. According to Hamline poli-sci professor David Schultz, more voters are involved in a primary than a caucus. Wisconsin usually has a 37 to 40% turnout for primaries.
The more people who participate, the better. You get a better sample of who and what people believe in the state of Minnesota by doing it.
Despite a record turnout of 9% this year, the Minnesota caucus was a political fiasco as voters were crammed into small classrooms.
Regardless of how great the volunteers were that were working at the precinct caucuses for the parties, it was chaos.
And what it produced was incredible traffic jams and congestion because people all tried to converge in their different little caucus areas at 7 o'clock at night.
A primary system will give people more flexibility when making their political choices.
Bigger window of time, you're not rushed, you can also do it absentee.
The ballots will open up on primary day at 7 a.m. They will close at 8 o'clock at night. People will have all day, plus they will have the no excuse absentee ballot option for being able to vote in the primaries.
Despite the fact Minnesota is becoming a primary state, precinct caucuses could continue if parties choose to hold them. In St. Paul, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.